What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I have the keys to the 2020 BMW i3 Sport with the extended range. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this car for me today. Definitely check out their website, that will be down in the description. This model here is finished off in Caparis white with the frozen blue accents, and it has an MSRP just over $57,000. Moving on to the batteries and the engine now for the i3. If you get the extended range, which this model has, it comes with a 2-cylinder engine, which is in the rear end of this vehicle, and that will help recharge the 42.2 kilowatt lithium ion battery pack. That battery pack is also paired to a 1-speed automatic. It produces about 181 horsepower and 199 pound-feet of torque. This model is rear-wheel drive. It weighs in around 3,300 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in just under 7 seconds with a top speed just under 100 miles an hour. And depending if you have the extended range model or not, the range for the i3 varies from 126 miles all the way up to 200 miles. This has a wheelbase of 101.2 inches. Its overall length is 158.1. It has a width of 70.5 and a height of 62.6 inches. Starting up front on the i3, you'll see it still retains the traditional kidney style grille that BMWs have. There's brushed aluminum that surrounds the outside of it with piano black right in the center. You'll also see the frozen blue accents, which I think is a really nice touch to see. It surrounds the BMW logo up on the hood, and then it's down on these nice contoured pieces in the lower section of the bumper. This also has forward-facing parking sensors, and it has adaptive LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals. The turn signals are nicely placed in the middle section here with piano black surrounding the entire lower section just to give it a really good contrast against the white. And then up top we have the hood, which is finished off in gloss black as well. Moving on to the side profile now, you'll see this has a set of 20-inch wheels. They have a 5 split spoke design to them, and they are finished off in gloss black just to give it a really nice contrast against the white exterior paint. They also measure 5.5 inches wide up front and 6 inches wide in the rear. The S version also sits about 10 millimeters lower, and it's 40 millimeters wider than the non-S version. You'll see that extended width is from these fender flares, which are finished off in gloss black, and you'll see that theme carry on to the side mirrors as well. They feature the integrated turn signal. The roof is also finished off in gloss black, and you can see the moon roof up top as well. And then on the lower section of the door, you'll see even more gloss black and the frozen blue. And then on the passenger side, above the front tire, that is how you fill it up with fuel. And then above the rear tire, that is how you plug it in to charge it. And then finishing up in the rear, you'll see the spoiler is finished off in gloss black with the integrated third brake light right in the center. You'll see the wiper blade is in the lower section of the glass just to help improve with better overall visibility. This does have LED taillights. I really like the design of them. They're integrated into the liftgate itself, so they don't protrude. It's a very nice design to see. Right underneath the liftgate, this has the standard backup camera with all of the parking sensors down below, and you'll also notice the white trim piece right in the center. Now let's go ahead and jump into the interior on the BMW i3. I have the vehicle locked and the key in my pocket. All I have to do is grab on the door handle and you will hear it unlock. Now we can go ahead and take a look at this door panel. You'll see there's leather on the armrest along with a composite material that surrounds most of the door. The grab handle is nicely placed up on the upper section with the release handle just underneath that. You'll see lock and unlock along with the side mirror adjustments and the window controls just underneath that. This does feature a Harman Kardon sound system, and you can see there's a lot of storage space in the lower section of the door. And then moving to the interior now, you'll see the 3-tone cloth seats. We have the frozen blue running down the edges of the bolsters. It's also on the seat belts. And then you can see the 2-tone design running down the middle inserts. They are manual adjusting seats, so you have the handle up front to move them forwards and backwards, along with your recline and incline. And once inside now, with my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and start it up. Looking at the center gauge cluster screen, you can see your miles per hour along with the battery life. If you have the extended range, you'll see the fuel gauge as well. Along with charge and e-power, there's a speed limit sign along with your trip information. And then making our way to the steering wheel, you'll see the frozen blue accents, which give it a really nice look. Over on the right side is the Bluetooth and voice commands along with modes for the radio. And then on the left side, you have your cruise control settings along with your distance pacing. Over on the right side, there is the stalk for your engine start stop, as you already saw. And then with my foot on the brake, we can go all the way down into reverse. You'll see the backup camera up here along with the sensors on the left side. And then we can twist that dial all the way up for drive. And then to put it into park, we'll just click on the P. And then making our way to the left side of the steering wheel, you'll see all of the headlight controls. Down at the very bottom, you have releases for the fuel cap along with the front trunk and the rear tailgate. And then you'll see we have more of that composite material surrounding the entire dash. And then back to this center screen here, we can use all of the controls down in the middle section, which I'll show here soon. We can look at media and radio. You have your phone. We can go into navigation and pull this up in full screen so you can see how that looks. And then just by clicking on menu, we can go over to connected drive. You have my vehicle. If you go into this, you can look at various settings. You have iDrive settings, along with driver profiles, vehicle status, and information like that. And then the last tab is notifications. It's a very easy system to go through and to control all of that. Down below, we have the rotary dial, which I was using. Along with media and phone, you have menu in the center, map and navigation, and then there's a back and an option button. So it's a very easy system to go through. And then right in front of that, you have this very deep compartment where you can place items. They're not going to slide out, which is really nice to see. It's a cool trim piece too that extends all the way to the passenger side. And then right in the middle, we have all the climate controls along with presets for the radio. Power and volume for the radios on the left side. We have the heated seat controls too for both driver and passenger. We can turn the fan speed on just by using the center dial. And then we have the temperature dial to the left of that. You'll see there are 2 air vents just underneath that, along with a shortcut to the intelligent safety. So you can monitor your front collision warning along with pedestrian warning and configure all of that information. And then just underneath that, you will see there's a lot of storage area. There's a strap in the front section if you want to place any items there. And then you can see the i3S badge on the floor mat. And then back to the middle, you'll see there's one cup holder in the front. We have different driving modes to go through. So you have Sport, Comfort, and Eco Pro, and you will see all of that change in the center gauge cluster as well, depending on the mode that you are in. And then just behind that, you'll see the electronic parking brake. We have the leather armrest right in the center. If we open that up, you'll see a wireless charging port, and then we can extend this all the way back, and it reveals another cup holder, along with a USB, USB-C port, and a 12-volt. You have a little bit of storage space surrounding that cup holder as well. And then making our way to the glove box, if I just push on this button, you will see that trim piece extend upwards. So you have a little bit of storage space there. We'll go ahead and take one last look at these seats. And then as I mentioned earlier, this does have a moonroof. It is separated into the driver and passenger side. So of course there is one right above my head now. You can easily slide these open if you want to get a little bit more light. And then we have the dome lights up front. Hopping into the back seats now of the i3. In order to get back here, you do have to have the front doors open in order to open up the rear door. And it gives you great access to get into the back here. This is a 4-seater vehicle, so you have 2 seats in the back, of course. And at 5'10", I have plenty of room. I have the front seat set at my height. I have a few inches in front of my knees, a few inches above my head, and you do have cup holders right in the middle if you need to use those. These back seats also have a 50-50 split, so you can fold these down just to get a little bit more room. And now we'll go ahead and take a look at the rear trunk storage space. I'm just gonna use this button up underneath on the bottom. We can go ahead and open this up, and you'll see there's a good amount of storage space with the back seats up. There's also a strap on both sides if you need to use this to secure any items that you need to. And then by folding the back seats down, that definitely gives you a lot more storage space. You'll see there's this cover here that you can remove if needed. And then up top on the back side of the liftgate, there are 2 grab handles that you can use to close this up. And then in the front of the vehicle, you'll see there's a little bit of storage space for your tire changing kit and any other smaller items. All right, so getting the BMW i3 out on the road now, this is the first time I've ever really checked one out. I've seen a few before, but I've never really looked at it. I have been behind the wheel of the BMW i8. I'll link that down below if you'd like to check out that video. Very similar to this, just being a sports car, it has a lot more performance to it. And so far, this is really cool. I just love everything about it. One thing that I have noticed is when you take your foot off the gas pedal, you really don't have to put your foot on the brake. I am not touching the brake right now, and we are coming to almost a stop. And actually, we did come to a stop. So it has that feature, which is really nice. If you want to use the brake pedal, of course, you have it right there to use. But that's also going to help with its regenerative braking system for the batteries, along with the gas engine, which the extended range comes with, which will help and do that as well. but that is really neat to see. I am currently in Eco Pro right now, which is probably why it's a little bit aggressive on that braking. And Eco Pro gives you a top speed of 56 miles an hour. So that's definitely going to be on the conservative side with getting the best range that you can possibly want. Let's go ahead and put it into sport mode now. I have noticed that when you put it into sport mode, you can automatically feel a difference with the throttle response. So right now we'll give it a little bit of gas here. It's so weird not hearing an exhaust note or anything like that, but we are currently up to the speed limit, and without my foot on the brake right now, it is not slowing down as fast as it did in Eco Pro. And again, just giving it a little bit of gas. It's really hard to tell the speed that you're getting up to because you can't hear this, but I think that is a really cool feature with this type of vehicle. And I love how quiet it is on the inside regardless of not having an exhaust note. It feels very insulated on the inside, very quiet. There's no road noise, wind noise, or anything like that. But let's go ahead and talk about the visibility in this small vehicle. There is glass everywhere. The front windshield is very, very long, so you can easily see out of the front. We have windows on the sides in front of the side mirrors to help out as well. And then over my left and right shoulder, the pillars are not all that bulky, so you really have a 360-degree view from the interior. And then with the moonroof that I showed earlier, I can close these individually. So if I don't want the sun on me and the passenger does, you have the option to do that. We'll go ahead and put it back into Eco Pro real quick and give it a little bit of gas. And you can tell it is not as quick as sport mode. If I go ahead and put it into sport mode real quick, there's a little bit of a jump between Eco Pro and Sport. But aside from that, this is a really nice vehicle. I love the amount of storage space that they've offered. It's underneath the screen here. Of course, we have the glove box. You have a lot of room down by your feet, so if you need to put any items right in the middle, and you have functional back seats. You can put 2 full-size adults back there and utilize that room if you need to, along with the storage space that you have behind the seats. So for being a pretty small vehicle, it's actually very well laid out on the interior as far as being able to put people and have extra room for storage space. So I love that aspect to it. I love all the frozen blue accents. It gives it a really cool look. We have the stalk that I showed earlier for your drive, neutral, and reverse. I think it's a really nice design. I love how it angles up here. It's in a really good ergonomical position for your hand. So when you go and grab it, that is where your thumb is going, and you can rotate it forwards and backwards. We have all the composite on the door panel here, a lot of storage space on the door panel there to put in any items that you'd like to. And it's just a really comfortable car to drive. Again, I've never been in one before, and I love how it's driving. It's absorbing bumps very well. I love the seating position. This is a really neat vehicle to check out. You have all of your climate controls right in the middle there. It's nicely laid out. There's not a whole lot of buttons, so it's very simple and easy to use. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for my walk around review and test drive behind the wheel of the 2020 BMW i3. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this vehicle for me today. Definitely check out their website. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with our daily uploads. And I'll see you guys in the next video.